Unlike any, of course, the show exists because Donald Trump is, unlike any president ever elected in this country, no experience whatsoever in governance, not holding any political position whatsoever. So this show exists because that is the situation right now. Just not me, because we might start to local lamp or two on occasion, well, pretty much every day. Because after that, it stops being polite a lot of the time. But people are actually clear about political yes, also on your life, president's speech, we have to read questions, and we come here, people are the president's speech. All over the country, and it's not part of the back, not online, not future.
Okay. Let's get some clarification. For years, we've been hearing about this pedophile of the United States. I don't believe in death penalty. However, if there's anyone I can think of that deserves to die, it's this fellow, Donald Trump. And this dependent network continues to discuss this man. And they claim, as we heard in the beginning of this program, that airs 4 or 5 days a week. It exists because there's no president like this man. So that's supposed to lead the listener to believe that this program exists to oppose this man's rule. Yet reality never becomes a part of the conversation. The conversation exists around the theatrical, orchestrated fabrication of the political arena. And everything we hear is just part of that show. If we were to become honest with ourselves, and I speak on behalf of the human race, mankind, we would examine and determine that disinformation is not important. It's less than the dust of the earth. Vanity. And to continue to speak about who you claim is your oppositional rival, it must be a waste of time. And yet these networks will continue to thrive because not only do they have people on the bottom supporting, yet they're controlled by people of enormous wealth. And you don't have to dig far to discover this, nor do you have to think very long. And some of these people are faces. They have backers too. And the brand is wholesome. They're going to improve your life and progress, all so that total equality becomes possible. Are we really to believe? When we know the reality is far from this and moving in the wrong direction. And it's these networks that claim to be staple holds of democracy, the term that they have declared their goddess of salvation. And yet rarely do they define these conditions thereof. And they don't open their door for everyone. They discriminate based on philosophy. This is the most discriminated aspect of humanity. When one person disagrees, to them it's acceptable so long as they don't act within reason. Because if they go against their agenda, unstated, and become obstructive to that cause, and have the ability to influence, then they become marked. And they have the tools to discredit any individual they deem as a threat. People talk themselves to death. They love talking to themselves. And some of them, they find out what the theme is. And they think that they've inherited some supernatural capability. And they ride the theme. Or, in other words, jump on the bandwagon to appease others. And they think that they're heroes to themselves. They become heroes to themselves. People are not willing to really talk about issues that matter. So they continue with this nonsense about the pedophile. And they address him as a president, even while they say on the same tongue that he didn't get elected legitimately. So what kind of witch are they working for? I have called this radio station for years, and then I noticed when it used to be 12 minutes to wait, it'd be 20. And then when it would be 20, it would be 30 and 40. Sometimes they wouldn't take your call. That's the dirtiest trick. If you wait over an hour or something, or 30 minutes, and the show ends and they don't take your call, it discourages people, anyone. And it will frustrate you too. You have to be prepared, because that is the trick to frustrate your purpose, to make you upset and angry, sound irrational, say something wrong, and then they can use that against you forever, because that's what they're about. They push you until you get upset, fight back, and then they take the picture and they save it.
Well, good afternoon. It is a Monday, and we are about to go into executive session on WMNF, and there was a little pause there before I talked about the Blues Society because I'm reading some tweets from Maggie Haberman, the New York Times reporter who is covering the White House now, but for years covered Donald Trump. Levi, you're in executive session on WMNF. You're out in Polk County. Hello.
Hey Craig, how are you?
I'm all a Monday. How about you?
Pretty good, man. I borrowed somebody's cell phone to call you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I still see the pedophile as a psyop to draw people back to institutions. You can just say common law system.
I'm not following you, man.
They've got so much dirt on the pedophile that he's willing to do whatever they say.
Oh, yeah, I see. I don't know about I don't know about labeling using that label so loosely, but there's something I agree with you on, that there's something out there that we just can't see that drives a smart guy like Trump to still not say something bad about Russia. I see your point there.
Well, they work together.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you can get production, is you put these two powers against each other. I mean, think about, you know, when you do that, you put fear into people, you collect taxes, you put it in the military, and then you make your devices. But yeah, he is a bad actor, and now they're pushing to take over Venezuela.
Yeah, I think a hint as to where. So what I hear is that you have that he's being leveraged, and then and we're curious about where the leverage exists, and I would suggest that it might be possible to get a hint about where the leverage is by looking at what he is most sensitive about. When they walk up to what, does he go nuts?
I wouldn't pay any attention to him. It's a waste of my time.
Wow.
If he wasn't the president, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, there's a company being started by Elon Musk to put chips in people's brains.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's some things that we need to start paying attention to. If we keep focusing on this pedophile, we're just losing sight. We're losing our vision, and then we're going to lose ourselves.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Call again. 813